third graders. I want to show you a fun little activity that you can do to practice your perimeter and area. So what I have are Legos, and I went through my girls' Lego box and I got out a lot of the little Lego pieces that are the perfect squares. The reason we want to use squares when we do perimeter and area is because we measure them using square units. So this is going to be my unit, because it is a perfect square. So I'm going to build, first I'm just going to build a rectangle. Doesn't matter if your colors match or not. I just went through and grabbed as many of the little squares that I could find. And at this point I'm not even counting. I'm just building my square or my rectangle. Okay, so this is going to be my rectangle that I've created with my Legos. Now, first thing I'm going to do is find the area of my rectangle. Now remember, area can be found two ways. One, you can count, just simply count all the squares. Remember our song, area is the grass inside the playground. So our area is all the squares that are filling up my rectangle. So I'm simply going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It took 12 square units to build my rectangle. So my rectangle has an area of 12 units square, or 12 square units. Now, the second way that we learned how to find area is when we sing our little song that I taught you. Remember, to get the area, you have to multiply 1 length times your width. That's all you have to do to get the area, and now you're through. So we can do area the second way by just counting our length for our long side, 1, 2, 3, 4, and our width, 1, 2, 3, and then we just multiply. 4 times 3 is 12. So my area is 12 square units, or units squared. For perimeter, now remember, think back to your song, perimeter is the fence that goes all around. So if I wanted to put a fence around my rectangle, so in order to find the perimeter, I'm going to count all the way around my rectangle. So I'm going to start over here. That's 1 square, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It takes 14 squares to go all the way around my rectangle. So my perimeter would be 14 units. Now we're not going to square perimeter because we weren't counting squares, we were building a fence that goes all the way around our shape. So perimeter. Now your song teaches you to get the perimeter, you just add all your sides. So if we were to put numbers on each side of our rectangle, we would have 4, 3, 4, 3. And we would simply add those together. 4 plus 3, 7 plus 4, 11 plus 3 equals 14. So the perimeter would be 14 squares, or it's 14 units. Normally when you're working perimeter and area, they're going to tell you whether they're feet or inches or yards or miles. So we could even go in and pretend that these were all inches. So if I told you every square is 1 inch, because it's 1 inch on every side of the square, then you would label it using your term inches. So my area, remember area was length times width, so that was 12. 4 times 3 is 12, so we would say 12 inches square, or squared inches. My perimeter, remember we add our sides, would be 4 plus 3 plus 4 plus 3, which is 14. So my perimeter would be 14 inches. Area, 12 square inches, or inches square, and perimeter 14 inches. Okay. Another thing you can do with your Legos, besides building your own rectangle and finding the perimeter and area, you can start. Say you're going to start with an area. So I want to build a rectangle that has an area of 8 square inches. Okay, so that means since my area is going to be 8, I can only use how many Lego pieces? 8. I can only use 8 because to get area, that's how many squares fill up your shape, and I said I wanted 8. So there's more than one way you could do this, but you can only have 8. So far I've used 4, 5, let me go this way, 5, 6, 7, 8. I should have scooted it down a little bit. My little block's not quite big enough. I have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my rectangle looked like this. Maybe yours went this way. Maybe you did something different. We could change it up, but you only can have 8 squares if your area is going to be 8. Okay, so that would be an area of 8 because I used 8 squares to build my shape. Then you could decide, okay, what's my perimeter going to be? Remember, perimeter, you add all your sides. So that's 4 plus